that matters. Fox 40 News at 10 starts now.
Breaking news, another night of unrest in Sacramento.
From inside City Hall to the Golden One Center, hundreds continue to protest the death of Stephon Clark.
We demand justice.
Police in riot gear trying to keep the peace as another Sacramento Kings game is disrupted.
But many came out tonight with a message of unity.
I'm asking us to lean in. I'm asking us to understand Black pain. I'm asking us to decide to build Black communities.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Ty Steele. Tonight's protests come in the wake of the shooting death of Stephon Clark by Sacramento police. An open dialogue at tonight's city council meeting abruptly coming to an end as things got heated. Watch.
We are going to shut the meeting down for tonight. We're going to shut the meeting down.
Mayor Steinberg said tonight's meeting will continue tomorrow at 1 p.m. Beforehand, though, tensions ran high inside the council chambers where hundreds had signed up to share their thoughts in that deadly shooting. And the crowds then moving from city council to the Golden One Center meant many Kings did not get in tonight.
Yeah, it started. Stephon Clark's brother, Stephonte, took matters into his own hands early at tonight's city council meeting, jumping onto the city council bench and chanting his brother's name. Now, as you saw right there, at one point he had something to say to the mayor. Stephonte then walked back into the crowd and the meeting began.
We have team coverage tonight covering all angles of tonight's events. Dennis Shanahan is at the Golden One Center. Nicole Comstock is at City Hall.
Well, let's start with Fox 40 Sarah Zendenam, who is also at City Hall. Sarah, it's much quieter there now.
Oh yeah, Nikki, much quieter than what it was like just about an hour ago. You can see the atrium here at City Hall completely empty, but about an hour ago, it was packed full of people. So the city council meeting was actually scheduled to end at 11 o'clock tonight, but because of all the commotion that was going on in the atrium and right outside City Hall, the decision was made to end it early.
Stephon Clark! Stephon Clark! Stephon Clark! Stephon Clark! Stephon Clark! Stephon Clark!
This is Stephonte Clark, Stephon Clark's brother. These are speakers.
As you point this to our council, does this look like a gun?
Make them accountable for what they do! It's all right.
The community's reaction to Sacramento leaders is passionate, and their message, unwavering.
I'm asking you to stand with the voices of the people that you're hearing today. I'm asking you all of you, not one being exempt, to be the champion of change that Sacramento needs.
They want the Sacramento police officers who shot and killed Stephon Clark on March 18th to be held accountable. Speaker after speaker, demanding change, pleading for action.
You cannot be blue. You cannot be political. You cannot stand on the fence. You have to fall on the side of what is right.
Tuesday's Sacramento City Council meeting taken over by people of all ages and backgrounds who brought stories of their own struggles, offered solutions, and wanted their voices to be heard.
We expect you to leave this moment with a new lens on, a lens of understanding that we need enforcement that carries out and cares for the neighborhood that they are enforcing.
Mayor Darrell Steinberg, joined by city council members and Sacramento Police Chief Daniel Hahn, held a moment of silence in honor of Clark and offered words of encouragement.
Will determine whether we divide and despair or whether we heal and hail justice and change. I am confident that together we can and will achieve the latter. Peace, justice, and change.
Before the nearly 700 people expected to speak could have their turn at the podium, the meeting was shut down 3 hours after it started as the protest outside became chaotic. And one person was arrested for assaulting a police officer, according to the Sac PD.
Why? Why'd you choke him out? Why? Look, why did you choke him out? Why was he choked out?
Because the meeting did end early, Mayor Steinberg did tweet that it will reconvene tomorrow at 1 p.m. At City Hall tonight, Sarah Zendenam, Fox 40 News.
Sarah, thanks so much. I want to bring in Nicole Comstock now, who is also at City Hall. Nicole, you spent time both outside and inside among those protesters.
Yeah, Nikki, it was an intense night at City Hall, and the hundreds of protesters who waited outside to finally make their way in, they all just wanted their voices to be heard this evening. Some of those people were very happy to speak with us about why they came out here to support Stephon Clark's family, but others didn't want us covering the protest at all, and they made a point to collectively push myself and my photographer right outside the City Hall doors. As soon as doors opened, hundreds of protesters surged inside the atrium at Sacramento City Hall. Some climbed on top of the information desk to lead the crowd, many of whom waited hours to speak their piece to city councilors about Stephon Clark and his shooting death by police that's taken Sacramento by storm.
We're not going to let this go until something is done.
What they want is the two cops who fired 20 bullets at Clark fired and charged.
Obviously, these officers were scared, right? You know, 20 bullets, it doesn't matter what that young man was doing.
They want reform across all law enforcement so they don't see another unarmed black man shot to death in his grandmother's backyard. What they didn't want, at least part of the group, was Fox 40 reporting from inside the atrium. They told us repeatedly that we needed to leave, covered our cameras, and then collectively pushed us outside.
When we're emotional, we don't always think, you know, about following the rules and things like that. We want to speak, we want to be heard.
But one little man who was happy to speak with us was 10-year-old Deontay.
I'm just glad that everyone's here and that they believe we can make a change as well.
A phone is not a gun! A phone is not a gun!
After a late march through downtown, protesters returned to City Hall, and police called for backup after some sort of skirmish outside. One person was detained. And no word yet on what exactly happened outside of City Hall later on this evening that prompted police to call for backup. Reporting live tonight in Sacramento, Nicole Comstock, Fox 40 News.
Nicole, thanks so much. And as Stephon Clark's death continues to make national headlines, many people at tonight's City Council meeting came in from other cities.
I'm from Seattle, Washington. That not only Sacramento is hurting, Seattle is hurting in the whole nation. When I saw this on CNN, I cried like a baby because I got 2 kids. And I said, it got to stop. It's got to stop. I'm sick and tired of you guys sitting up here talking about, well, this need some training. You don't need no training. What you do to make them accountable for what they do.
Now, some of those speakers came to ask council for an independent investigator to take a look at the shooting, and they're also asking for permission to review police and city policy. And for the second time in 3 games, tonight's Kings game was disrupted by the protesters.
Crews had to lock the doors from the inside, meaning thousands of fans did not get in. Fox 40's Dennis Shanahan joining us live there as the game ended a little less than an hour ago. Dennis.
Well, Nikki and Ty, the game ended peacefully. Fans had a very calm, clear exit from the arena, but it was a much different story for those trying to get in around game time. This is the second time since Stephon Clark's death, protesters have effectively blocked the entrance to the Golden One Center before a Kings game, choosing this location to reach a large audience.
There's no disrespect to nobody over here. We got to let them know what's going on in Sacramento. The whole world got to know what's going on in Sacramento.
Andre Young is Stephon Clark's cousin.
We all hurting. Sacramento, we hurting. Okay? We all hurting. We just want justice, man. We want the people to know what happened.
I come to you with my feelings, you understand?
I'm with you. Good. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation.
There were frustrations among ticketed fans, and after a while, Young suggested letting fans in.
So these people could watch this game. We said enough, so now it's time for us to go, okay?
But the Kings organization locked the doors and put up a sign saying public safety measures have been enacted. Many ticketed fans never made it in, some with mixed reactions.
It's a little inconvenient, but I respect their message and understand both sides of it. So I I'm pro-police, but I'm also pro-rights for everyone.
Being a woman of color, it's a little different for me, but I get it, and I understand his opinion too, so it is what it is.
It was a great cause, but I just feel like it's the wrong cause.
All right, sir.
That's just my opinion. I'm not against them protesting. Like, I don't feel like they shouldn't be doing it. I just feel like right here ain't the right place, because I don't feel like the Kings did anything, you know? That's just how I feel.
An estimated 4,000 fans made it into the arena before the doors were locked because of the protest. Everyone was allowed to sit in the lower level, close to the court. The Kings organization said ticket holders who were not able to make it in will be receiving refund information shortly. Live downtown in Sacramento, Dennis Shanahan, Fox 40 News.
All right, Dennis, thanks so much. And before tonight's protest started, Sacramento Police Chief Daniel Hahn encouraged the community to exercise their right to protest, but also urged those outside to keep things peaceful.
But as we have seen, I am concerned that as a community, we exercise calm over the coming weeks and months, and that we don't have any more tragedies, injuries, or property damage, as that does not help us move forward.
Meanwhile, the department had previously said it would release the names of the officers involved in the shooting within 10 days. Tomorrow is actually day 10. But today, Chief Hahn said his department will withhold that information officially, as the officers have been getting death threats since their names were leaked.
And State Attorney General Javier Becerra announced today the California Department of Justice will investigate the shooting. Becerra's office was asked by Sacramento Police Chief Hahn to get involved as tensions in the community continue to rise. Becerra says they won't just look into the shooting itself, but also Sac PD's policies, procedures, and practices. However, several black community activists say getting Becerra involved could be a step in the wrong direction. Community leaders held their own press conference today calling for changes to the city's policing policy. But they say their efforts won't be helped by anyone outside city leadership.
No investigation from any government agency outside of whatever agency the issue occurred has ever brought about any change.
We need change, systematic change. So we will be focusing on the Police Bill of Rights. We'll be focusing on the police union. We'll be focusing our energy against the DA.
And protesters say they will be out in front of the DA's office again at 3 o'clock tomorrow, as well as Thursday.
Meantime, family and others are working to prepare for Stephon's funeral. It's set for Thursday. The service will be held at the Bayside Boss Church. That is on 44th Street in Sacramento. The memorial begins at 11 a.m. Reverend Al Sharpton will be delivering the eulogy for Clark. For those unable to attend that service, Fox 40 will stream the funeral on Facebook and bring you more in our newscast. And Fox 40 will continue to follow this story as it continues to develop. For the most up-to-date information, download our free Fox 40 app and search Stephon Clark.
Well, he killed 2 Sacramento area sheriff's deputies in one day. And today, Luis Bracamontes learned his fate.
The penalty to be imposed upon Luis Enriquez and Roy Bracamontes for the murder of Placer County Sheriff's Detective Michael Davis is death.
The decision made by a Sacramento County jury apparently amused Bracamontes, as you can see. The convicted cop killer smiled at the families of the dead deputies after that verdict was read. Bracamontes was sentenced to death for killing Placer County Sheriff's Detective Michael Davis Jr. and Sacramento County Deputy Danny Oliver back in October of 2014. And it's still very much unknown if Bracamontes really will ever be executed. There are almost 750 prisoners on death row here in California, and the last time someone was executed was back in 2006. But California voters continue to keep the death penalty around. In November of 2016, they voted no to Prop 62, which would have repealed the death penalty. And they also voted yes to Prop 66, which speeds up the process and limits the amount of time for appeals to 5 years after a death sentence is decided.
Now to a Fox 40 update. Detectives from Northern and Southern California do believe a body found in a shallow grave in rural Nevada County is a missing actress from Los Angeles. Adia Shabani went missing late last month. The search led law enforcement to an unincorporated area near Beale Falls. That's where they discovered what they believe to be her remains in this shallow grave. Be sure to stick with us. We'll cover what's next in the investigation and who authorities believe killed her tonight, coming up at 10:30. And still ahead, a crop duster crashes into a San Joaquin County field, taking out PG&E lines with it. The latest on the pilot's condition next.
And the boss of disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar is charged with sexual misconduct next. The latest in the abuse scandal at Michigan State University.
And a big mistake here. A car ended up in this pool with 2 people inside of it. Why the driver was the only one in the clear.